वेलकम टू वी लर्न में आपका स्वागत है। सब्जेक्ट अकाउंटेंसी सेकंड और फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग सेकंड, सेशन नंबर 17, एनालिसिस ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट। टॉपिक टू बी कवर्ड इन दिस सेशन: नेचर ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट, यूजेज एंड लिमिटेशंस ऑफ फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स, फाइनेंशियल एनालिसिस एंड इट्स टेक्निक्स, मीनिंग ऑफ रेशियो एनालिसिस, ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ रेशियो एनालिसिस, classification of ratios, ratios to assess financial soundness, ratios to assess efficiency, ratios to assess profitability, a comprehensive illustrations, standard for comparison, usefulness of ratio analysis and limitation of ratio analysis. Now, nature of financial statement. Financial statement which are of vital importance to any business organization are the balance sheet and profit and loss account. These are periodical reports which reflects the financial position and operating results of the entire business for an accounting period, generally 1 year. The impact of all business transactions on the financial state of affairs and progress of the enterprise is presented in these statements. The balance sheet is a summarized statement of assets, liabilities and capital. It is accompanied by details of various types of assets and liabilities in a separate schedules attached to the summary. Now, uses. They are the basis of decision making for its users, that is managements, investors, creditors, government authorities, etc. And our management, the board of directors and the executives of the firm can make an overall assessment of the efficiency of operations and the financial state of affairs of the business from the information contained in the statement. मैनेजमेंट में जितने भी लोग होते हैं सभी को ऑपरेशन एफिशिएंसी जांच करने की जिज्ञासा होती है और वो जो है एफिशिएंसी फाइनेंशियल अकाउंटिंग के थ्रू या रेशियो एनालिसिस के थ्रू चेक कर सकते हैं। इन्वेस्टर्स एंड शेयर होल्डर्स आर कंसर्न्ड अबाउट द फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी, earning capacity and future growth of the firm. And now creditors and financiers. Short-term creditors makes use of financial statements mainly to ascertain the ability of the firm to pay its current liabilities on time and the value of stock and other assets which can be accepted as security against credit granted. Now, government authorities, the financial statement form the basis of taxation of income and wealth by government. Apart from the above advantages, the growth of earnings and assets of the firm reflected in the annual statements indicate whether the business tends to be monopolistic and is there a necessity of regulating prices and monopolistic practices. And now, uses and limitation of financial statement. Limitations. Periodic nature of a statement. The profit or loss arrived at the profit and loss account is for a specified period like financial year or calendar year. The statements are not realistic. Financial statements are prepared on the basis of certain accounting concepts and conventions in group which is called GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. Lack of objectivity due to personal judgment. Values assigned to many items are determined on the basis of personal judgments of accountants. And next is only financial matters are reported. The financial statements present information in terms of monetary units, not quality or quantity. Now, financial analysis and its techniques. Financial analysis refers to the process of examining the strength and weakness of an enterprise with the help of information provided by the balance sheet and profit and loss accounts. It involves a systematic attempt to look into the significance of data with respect to particular items or groups of items presented in the financial statements. The objective of financial analysis is to gain an insight into the profitability of business operations and financial positions so as to judge whether progress is adequate or the position has improved. Now, techniques of financial analysis, comparative statement. This techniques involves preparations of comparative balance sheet and comparative income statement so as to highlight the changes in the various assets, liabilities, income and expenditures. In the comparative balance sheet, the figures of assets and liabilities are set out as at the beginning and at the end of the years, along with the extent of increase or decrease between the two dates. The changes may be expressed in percentage also. Now, common size statement. In this techniques of analysis, each of items in the respective financial statements is expressed as a ratio or percentage of the aggregates. Thus, a common size balance sheet shows the ratio percentage of each assets to the total assets and that of each items of liability to the total liabilities. In other words, such a statement shows the relations of each component to the total. Comparative common size balance sheet can also be prepared for 2 or more years. Now, ratio analysis. A ratio expresses one number in terms of another number. It is a measure of the relationship between two magnitudes. The ratio analysis involves the use of financial ratios rather than absolute numbers or changes thereof as the index of financial position and progress of operations in terms of profitability, etc. This is the most widely used technique of financial analysis. Now, meaning of ratio analysis. A ratio is the measures of relationship between two numbers or values. The relationship may be expressed as the quotient of one number divided by another. The ratio then conveys the value of one item per unit of the value of another's, or the value of one item being so many times or fractions of the other values. For instance, if the ratio of sales to stock is 3, it means that the sales value is 3 times the value of stock in hand. Analysis consists of identifying particular items from a set of figures, classifying and grouping them systematically in order to present them in a convenient and easily understandable form for the purpose of interpretation. Now, objective of ratio analysis. The purpose of ratio analysis is to ascertain whether the financial condition of the business unit is basically sound. Number 2, whether the capital structure of the business unit is appropriate. Number next, whether the profitability of the business unit is satisfactory. Number next, whether the credit policy of business unit in relation to sales and purchases is sound, and whether the business unit is credit worthy. Now, classification of ratios. As there are many ratios, they may be classified into different categories. According to some writers, there are as many as 429 business ratios. But all these ratios need not be calculated at a time. Depending upon the nature of business, purpose of the analysis and particular questions to be answered from ratio analysis, certain ratios are generally selected. On the basis of their nature, classification of ratios. On the basis of nature of items, the relationship of which are explained by the ratios, they may be classified as financial ratios and operating ratios. Financial ratios deals with items which are financial or non-operational in nature, like current ratio, quick ratio, debt equity ratio, etc. are example of financial ratios. On the other hand, the operating ratios explain the relationship between items of operations of the enterprises, like turnover ratios, earning ratios, expense ratios, etc. are the example of this type ratios. On the basis of their importance, ratio may also be classified on the basis of their importance as primary ratios and secondary ratios. Operating profit to operating capital employed is generally described as primary ratio. Other related ratios under this category are net sales to capital employed, operating profit to value of production, etc. On the other hand, some examples of secondary ratios are ratio of direct material cost to value of production, ratio of output to factory employees, etc. Classification ratio 4. On the basis of source of data, ratio may also be classified into 3 categories. Number 1, balance sheet ratios. Number 2, profit and loss accounts ratios. And number 3, combined or composite ratios. On the basis of their function, ratio can also be classified on the basis of the purpose served or functions which the ratio are expected to perform. This basis of classification is called functional classification, and the ratios are called functional ratios. Ratio to assess financial soundness. The financial soundness of a firm is generally assessed in 2 respects, namely liquidity and solvency. Liquidity refers to the capacity of the firm to meet all its current liabilities falling due within 1 year. With a view to meeting current obligations, a firm may decide to hold excessive current assets, but idle current assets earn nothing. Hence, it is not a wise policy. On the other hand, it would also be imprudent to hold insufficient current assets. Thereby, the firm would run the risk of falling to meet the current liabilities. Ratios to assess financial soundness. The firm should have a balance between excessive liquidity and lack of liquidities. To sustain the confidence of short-term creditors, the ratios to measure the short-term liquidity of firm are called liquidity ratios. Generally, bankers, suppliers of raw materials, etc. are interested in these ratios. The long-term solvency of the firm, on the other hand, is evaluated through solvency ratios, also called capital structure or leverage ratios. These ratios measures the firm's ability to pay interest regularly and repay the principal amount in lump sum or in installments. Now, ratio to assess financial soundness 3, liquidity ratio, current ratio. This ratio establishes the relationship between current assets and current liabilities. The difference between current assets and current liabilities is known as working capital. Therefore, the current ratio is also called working capital ratio. The purpose of this ratio is to find out the extent of current assets available against each rupees of current liability of the firm. Current liability consists of all the obligations of payment that have to be met within a year. They comprise sundry creditors, bills payable, income received in advance, outstanding expenses, bank overdraft, short-term borrowings, provisions for taxation, dividends payable, long-term liability to be discharged within 1 year, etc. The following formula is used to compute this ratio. Current ratio equal to current assets upon current liability, and current assets are cash, bank, debtors, bills receivable, advance expenses and stock, divided by current liability, and current liability means creditors, outstanding expense, bills payable and short-term liabilities. And now Ratio to assess financial soundness 5. Quick ratio. This ratio is also called liquid ratio or asset test ratio. It establishes the relationship between quick assets and current liabilities. Quick assets are those assets which can be converted into cash without any loss or delay. All the current assets excepting stock and prepaid expenses are considered to be quick assets. The reason for excluding stock from quick assets is that in most cases stock cannot be sold immediately for cash. In such a case, the current ratio may be misleading. To overcome the drawback, the quick ratio is calculated to assess the liquidity of a firm in its real sense. The purpose of this ratio is to find out the extent of quick assets available for a rupee of current liability. The following formula is used to calculate this ratio. Quick ratio equal to quick assets upon current liability. Now ratio to assess financial soundness 7. Long-term solvency ratios. The long-term solvency ratios are calculated to assess the long-term financial position of the business. जैसा कि आपने देखा, करंट रेशियो एंड क्विक रेशियो जो हैं वो शॉर्ट टर्म सॉल्वेंसी रेशियो भी कहलाते हैं और शॉर्ट टर्म की सॉल्वेंसी को इंडिकेट करते हैं, जबकि लॉन्ग टर्म सॉल्वेंसी को कुछ और रेशियोज होते हैं जो इंडिकेट करते हैं. लाइक दीज रेशियोज आर आल्सो कॉल्ड लीवरेज रेशियो. द फॉलोइंग रेशियो जनरली कम अंडर दिस कैटेगरी. नंबर 1 डेट इक्विटी रेशियो, नंबर 2 प्रोप्राइटरी रेशियो एंड नंबर 3 डेट रेशियो और डेट टू टोटल फंड रेशियो. Ratio to assess efficiency turnover ratio. These ratio are known as velocity ratio, activity ratio, performance ratio, efficiency ratio or turnover ratios. The more important of these ratios are stock or inventory turnover ratio, debtor turnover ratio, creditor turnover ratio, total assets turnover ratio, investment turnover rate and net assets turnover ratio. Ratio to assess profitability. Profitability in relations in sales. Profits earned in relation to sales gives the indicate that the firm is able to meet all operating expenses and also produce a surplus. In order to judge the efficiency of management with respect to production and sales, profitability ratios are calculated in relation to sales. These are gross profit margin, net profit margin, operating profit margin and operating ratio. Ratio to assess profitability 2. Profitability in relation to capital employed or investment. As stated earlier, profitability ratio can also be computed by relating profit to capital or investments. This ratio is popularly known as rate of return on investment and in short form it is called ROI. The term investment may be used in sense of capital employed or owner's equity. Two ratios are generally calculated like return on capital employed ROCE and return on shareholders equity and earning per share called EPS. And now standard for comparison. Ratio are measures which shows the relationship between two numbers or values. They enable the analyst to draw conclusion regarding the financial operations of the enterprises. But a single ratio by itself does not mean anything unless it is compared with something else. Hence, to have meaningful interpretations of the ratios calculated, they should be compared with some standards. There are three types of comparisons like intra-firm comparison, second inter-firm comparison and comparison against set standard or targets. Now usefulness of ratio analysis. Since the ratio conveys the interrelationship between different items of the balance sheet and profit and loss accounts, they reflect the financial state of affairs and efficiency of operations more clearly than the absolute accounting figures. Efficiency of performance of management and the overall financial positions are revealed by means of financial ratios which may not be otherwise apparent from a set of accounting figures. The creditworthiness of a firm, its earning power, ability to pay interest and debts, prospectus of growth, and similar information are revealed by ratio analysis. Limitation of ratio analysis. Limitation of accounting figures. As the ratio Q calculate on the basis of figures drawn from accounting records, they are subject to the limitation of accounting practices. Number 2, non-monetary aspects are left out. Financial ratios reflect only the monetary aspect of the function of an organization. A particular ratio or even a set of ratio cannot be regarded as indicators of good or bad performance of management. Number 3, differences caused by varying accounting practices. Changes in ratios from year to year are often caused by the adoptions of different accounting practices by the firm. And now do it yourself. Question number 1. What is the purpose of calculating net profit margin? And question number 2. What is the purpose of operating ratio? And that's it from session number 17. Thank you.